Hello and welcome back to The Casual Director. Today we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can get free cremation. That's right, nothing in life is free, but I'm going to tell you 3 ways that you can have a cremation take place and spend 0 money. Well, little to no money. The first one is whole body donation. So we're going to donate our body to science. Well, medical school is always looking for fresh, well, they call them cadavers. And the way they get them is by people who sign up to donate their body to science. After the medical students are done with their studies, usually a year or so, maybe 2 years, the body is cremated. And the family can get the ashes back after the cremation. Or they can leave them with the medical school. They have a short little service for them at the end of the year, and they scatter or bury the ashes, whichever that school chooses to do. The other way of donation is what I call anatomical donation or partial body donation. Sounds kind of weird, I'll explain it. But there are companies out there that do research, or perhaps a company that is using a knee replacement. They're coming up with a new way to do knee replacement. But they need something to study. They need an actual human knee to do the study, to test fit, to make sure everything works. And so what you can do is you can donate your body to these organizations, and there's no other way to say this, they part the body out, okay? So someone needs a knee joint, someone needs a shoulder joint, someone needs a whole torso, someone needs the lower limbs. You can imagine all these medical companies that are making like replacement parts. They need to test fit these things and make sure they work. So there are companies out there, which I'll put in the link below, that actually do that. Now, you're going to want to vet the companies to make sure that they're qualified, because there's been some stories in the news lately about companies that aren't acting with the best interest of the customer in mind. So I'm not going to mention any names of these companies. I'll just kind of list them there. No responsibility on my end that they're good companies or bad companies or companies at all. We'll just say that. So that's number 1, whole body or anatomical donation. The medical school pays for the cremation. The anatomical company that takes the body pays for the cremation. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, you have to qualify. So they're not going to take someone who's morbidly obese, intravenous drug use, contagious diseases. Usually no autopsies or accidental death or disfigurement. They kind of want a clean specimen to work with, we'll say. So that's number 1, anatomical or whole body donation. The second one is through a burial assistance program with the Department of Human Services. Now, I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'm talking about Pennsylvania. So if you qualify, and I'll throw a list up of the qualifications, you can have a cremation or a burial, but these days the participating funeral directors aren't doing burials, and I'll explain why. But they will pay for a cremation. Now, you have to use a provider who is listed with the Department of Health as a participating provider. Okay, so I happen to be a participating provider. What happens is if there is someone who is qualified for this program, I get paid by the state directly. The family does not have to come out of pocket with any money. Now, I'm not getting rich on this, okay? It's $750. The average price for a cremation is around $1,500. So it's half price, right? But I do it because there's a service and there's a need. So I participate. Now, if a family qualifies, all they get is a cremation. No services, anything else. If they say, we want to buy a better urn, I can't sell them a better urn because the state will reduce the amount of the $750 by the amount that they pay me. So say they give me $100. Well, the state's only going to give me $650. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a simple, direct cremation. The second way, so we got number 1, whole body or anatomical donation. The second way is through Department of Health and Human Services. Basically, it's welfare, burial payment program. The third way is GoFundMe, right? if you look, I'll throw the stats up here, but like $330 million has been raised for funeral or final services costs through GoFundMe. That's crazy. You can go on there and you structure your campaign in such a way that you say there's a need to say goodbye to this person and we don't have the means. They didn't have life insurance. They had a lengthy illness and depleted their savings. I don't know what it is, but you come up with that story. You don't make up a story, but you tell your story. And then people from around the area or country or world will donate to that fund. And then that fund, through GoFundMe, goes to one person and then can get paid to the funeral director. So just look, I'm going to put some up here on the screen of some of these campaigns that have raised money. And the last way, and this is a bonus way, but it's also kind of greasy, okay? You don't have to do anything. So if someone dies, there's no law that says you have to take care of it. You have no responsibility for that person or that person's final bills. That's the estate of that person. Now, if there's money in the estate, well, of course, everyone's going to want to be in charge of the estate and take care of that. But if the person died with no assets and no money, or you simply don't really like that person, I'm not here to judge. You don't have to do anything. Leave them there. And here's a little story in the corner, or it's going to overlay here, or it'll go here, or I'm going to disappear and it's going to be on the screen. But here's a story about individuals who were unclaimed at the county coroner's office, and they ended up cremating them, and they had a little service for them. So again, it's greasy. You don't need to do anything if someone passes away. Now, if it's your husband or your wife, I would, or your children or your aunt or someone close to you, I would hope that you would take care of them. But say it's like a distant cousin and you're the only next of kin listed, and they come to you and they say, so-and-so passed away, Cousin Eddie, and you have to take care of it. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. There is no law that you have to take care of a deceased person out of your own pocket, or take care of them at all. Again, let's run down the three, and then the greasy one. Number one, anatomical or whole body donation. Number two is a welfare program through the Department of Health or Department of Human Services. And the third one is a GoFundMe. Just ask for money, right? And the fourth is just don't do anything. Just leave them there. Again, kind of greasy. But anyhow, hope you found this informative. They say nothing in life is free. Maybe it is. Alrighty, we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.